Right now, texting while driving is a secondary offense. That means if you're caught sending a text once you get behind the wheel, police can only write you a ticket if they've pulled you over for another violation. Right here you can see where all of the calls come into the communication center. Dispatchers say it's very rare that all 8 lines are being used at the same time. We begin with breaking news this morning. Emergency crews are responding to a pileup on Interstate 81 in Frederick County. For people who were in this area on Friday, what they witnessed that afternoon is something that probably will never forget. Police exchanging fire with a wanted bank robbery suspect. Seeing both sides of the spectrum there, with new businesses coming in, some people even having to close. So it's interesting to see the difference there.
It is, and you add on top of that the fact that it's winter time, so the cold weather typically keeps people away anyway, but maybe we'll have some nice spring-like days.
Fingers crossed, for sure.
Frederick County 911.
Frederick County 911.
Frederick County 911.
Dispatchers barely had time to catch their breath in the minutes following Tuesday's earthquake.
Am I crazy, or was the earth just shaking?
The earth was just shaking. You're not crazy. Yes. Is everybody okay where you are?
What? Is somebody hurt somewhere?
No, I just want to make sure everybody's okay where you are.
Yeah, we're just freaking out.
That's just one of the 89 911 calls dispatchers in Frederick County got Tuesday in a few hours following the earthquake. During the same time period Wednesday, only 37 calls came in. Dispatchers in Warren County were flooded too. Right here you can see where all of the calls come into the communication center. Dispatchers say it's very rare that all 8 lines are being used at the same time, but right after the earthquake that was certainly the case, and calls had to be rolled over here to the administration line.
Warren County 911, where's your emergency?
It turns out there weren't that many emergencies at all. Most of the calls were from people just trying to figure out what was going on.
Oh my God.
Ma'am, I gotta go. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Thank you.
It's what just happened? I felt an explosion, my house rocked, and we said we believe there's been an earthquake. If you're not injured and no one's hurt, we need to answer another 911 line that's ringing. Somebody else may be hurt.
Tara Fristo says they got between 100 and 200 calls in an hour and a half. She says she's never experienced anything like that in her 2 years as a communications officer.
You could go for hours not having a 911 call, and then some days are 2 or 3 every hour, you know, but to have that many in an hour, it's crazy.
For most of us, we've never felt one like that before, and dispatchers say in this situation, they know it just may be human nature to call 911.
Is everybody okay where you are?
Yes, dear.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Katrina Bush in your community. For people who were in this area on Friday, what they witnessed that afternoon is something that probably will never forget. Police exchanging fire with a wanted bank robbery suspect. Well, tonight we're learning more about how police make that split-second decision to shoot back. This cell phone video was captured by a man waiting for the bus right after the United Bank was robbed. Here's what happened right after the police pulled up. You can hear the gunshots as the suspected bank robber James Whittlesey began shooting at police, and they fired back at him. Sergeant Mark Lehman with the Winchester Police Department says the first move is to identify themselves as police.
And the police say, "Don't shoot it, stop to shoot it."
You give a command that you need to stop, you need to put the weapon down, put the gun down as loud as you can, so if there are people around they can hear you giving commands for the person to drop the weapon. If the person doesn't comply and he's shot or pointed the gun at an officer, the officer's justified in returning fire.
It's a decision people have been on both sides of. Some have said it was too dangerous considering the neighborhood, while others agree with the officer's decision.
Any kind of armed robbery where people are held at gunpoint or threatened, it kind of demands a strong response.
Just a lot of things go through your mind, and it's a tough situation when you have to make that split-second decision, but we always go back to our training.
Sergeant Lehman says they rely on that training in the heat of the moment.
Ultimately, you hope that you can go through most of your career without ever having to take your weapon out and discharge it, because it's just so many things that come after it, and once that weapon's fired and the bullet's gone, you can't get it back.
Whittlesey is still on the run tonight, and Winchester police are working with the FBI to try to bring him in. Julie, back to you.
My New Year's resolution was not to try to kill myself this year. Like, as dumb as that sounds, but it's like, that's how serious things were. Like, that's how bad things got.
Jessica Lord says last year was the worst year of her life.
I just felt so bad. I thought I was never going to get better. I was just going to be in this slump forever.
The mother of 2 came back from Afghanistan after a 7-month deployment. She was divorced within 6 months and noticed a big change in herself.
Things happen to you over there, and so that like threaten your life. And then when you're here and you feel like you're like losing control again, and you feel like someone's like threatening you, you almost like have that feeling and you react like someone's trying to kill you. You know what I mean? Like that's like where you are now.
They've seen the loss of lives of their friends. They've sometimes been at risk, you know, of losing their own life and living with that sense of dread. And having experienced that over time, repeatedly often, so they come back with something called post-traumatic stress disorder.
After a year of trying to handle things on her own, Jessica finally decided to try the 90-day program here in the domiciliary at the Martinsburg VA Medical Center.
I didn't even realize things that I was doing was because of PTSD. So after I came here, it's like I'm realizing so much. It's like crazy.
Jessica has just one complaint about the program, that she doesn't get to see her psychiatrist enough. Other VA medical centers have put veterans on wait lists before being able to help them, putting some at a greater risk of suicide. That has never been the case here, but even so, getting more mental health workers is something leaders are working on right now. Jack Winfrey, the chief of mental health, says the workload here has increased by 25% a year recently. He says it is difficult at times to meet the need, but they make it work.
I've been with the VA for 25 years, and there was a time when we had downtime. You know, the clinicians had downtime, and we don't see much downtime anymore.
They've just added 23 mental health workers and 14 other positions are in the works.
It sounds like you might need to come in.
That includes additions to the suicide prevention department.
It'll give us a chance to contact more patients, to contact them more frequently, and just stay on top of things better. We do it now, but it's a stretch.
Leaders here say those positions should be in place by the end of the year. In the meantime, Jessica is ready to move on once she's done here and hopes other veterans going through some of the things she went through don't make the same mistake she did.
I wish to God I wouldn't have waited.
In Martinsburg, Katrina Bush in your community.